Welcome back to Newmans Kitchen. I'm going to make an apple crumble tart today. So, ingredients I have here to make the short crust pastry is 200 grams of unsalted butter, 1 egg, half a cup of caster sugar, and 1.5 cups of just plain flour. And I got some salt, just a pinch of salt. So I'm going to just start and soften the butter. So I just softened the butter here, not melted. Put that in a bowl. Add your caster sugar. And then just cream the sugar and the butter together till it's nice and creamy. As soon as you cream your butter and your sugar together, you add your egg. Mix that in. So make sure you combine the whole egg into the butter. And then you add your flour. Just give that a mix in. And then the mix will start getting a bit more dry, and then you start kneading this until you form a dough. And knead that. Don't over knead it. If the pastry seems like it's just a bit too wet, just add a bit of flour at a time. And you get your pastry out once it's formed. Just a floured bench. So I finished kneading my dough here. It's not too wet, not too dry. So what I'm going to do is wrap it with some baking paper and just let the dough rest. So as I said previously, just let it rest for about 5 minutes. You can put it in the fridge if you want, leave it out. If you put it in the fridge, it will be harder to roll out. So I'm just going to sit on the bench, let that rest, do its thing, and then I can start making the filling for it. So to make the filling, I've got 4 green apples, which are Granny Smith apples, just small diced. I've got them sitting in water so they don't brown. I've got about 1/4 cup of sultanas. I've got half a cup of caster sugar, pinch of salt, and I'm going to use 4 cloves, a pinch of cinnamon, and a pinch of ground nutmeg. So I drain my apples here. Get a saucepan, put the apples in. Add your sultanas in. Add your caster sugar. Small pinch of salt. Add your 4 cloves. And just add your pinch of nutmeg and cinnamon. So you just put about enough water just to half cover the apple, and then just put it on medium heat. Once I wait until the apple starts cooking on the stove, I'll roll out my short crust pastry, which I have here. So I just roll my pastry onto the rolling pin like this. I've got these little small tart tins. I'm just going to spray them canola oil. Line these with the pastry. You have to be very delicate with this pastry because it's very brittle. So I've just lined my tart tins with the pastry. The easy thing is, as soon as you roll the pastry into these tart tins, you can just round off the edges by just pushing the edge of the tart tin all the way around. Roll out to about 3 mils thick before you put it in the tart tin. So you let those rest for another 5-10 minutes or so. So once your apples here have softened, tip the water out. So here's my apple mixture. Cook it for about 20 to 30 minutes, or just until the apple softens enough. It doesn't go all mushy. You don't want it really too mushy, you want it to have some sort of texture. So put that aside. So I've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 80 grams of unsalted butter. And this is for the top of the crumble, the actual crumble mixture. So melt your butter, your brown sugar, your butter, and 1.5 cups of plain flour. And if you like, you can add any sort of ground spice you want. I've got cinnamon and nutmeg here I'm going to use, so just another pinch each of that. So you got your apple done, your pastry done, your crumble done. So what you can do next is put your tart cases into a preheated oven at 180 degrees, about 10-15 minutes, just to blind bake them. Just dot each tart tin. So I just took my tart tins out of the oven, they're just blind baked. Just going to add some filling, some apple filling to each of them. So I've just got my apple in my tart shells. Just get the crumble mixture. Crumble it over the top of each of them. So I've got my 4 little apple crumbles here. So you put these back in the oven until the crumble starts to brown. So here's my crumbles I've just got out of the oven. It took longer than I expected, about 30 minutes. Those beauties. Put that down. Best thing to do would to let these cool. So I'm just going to put them on a plate. Let them cool down. So there you have it. Thanks for watching this episode of Newmans Kitchen. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, like, and even comment down below what you think about this video. Until next time, catch you later.